Hi, lovelies. Welcome back. I'm so happy that we could be here together today. And today I just wanted to give a quick little message about something that's really been helping transform my life. And I've mentioned this before. I don't know if you've heard me saying this already, but I went through a really dark moment in my life where I was sad and lacking purpose and fulfillment overall. And going through that, I'm trying not to say and so much, I don't know why I'm saying it, but going through that, I realized that the only thing that made me feel uplifted and happy and like I was going in the right direction was feeling a little bit better each day. And at that moment in time, I was really not in my best physical place. I think I was maybe the skinniest I had ever been. I was really lacking motivation in many areas. I wasn't eating properly. I wasn't taking care of my mental health and physical health. My relationships were very damaged. And I was overall kind of like in a depressed state after a breakup that really shook me. It obviously wasn't just a breakup, it was, I think, my whole life situation. So if you're feeling like this, that you're in a moment of rut and difficulty and depression and frustration, trust me, I get it. I think we've all been there. And it seems like it's the end of the world and it seems like you're never going to get out of that situation, but that couldn't be furthest from the truth. I feel like sometimes, as bizarre as it seems, it feels like we need to reach the rock bottom so we know that now the only option is to go up. And we're not gonna go like speeding, like levitating and make our way to the top really fast. Because as soon as we made it, we probably trip and fall back down. So the thing that we actually have to do is develop ourselves and strengthen our body, strengthen our mind, and nurture ourselves to the point that we have the strength to slowly, step by step, day by day, go climbing out of that dark space and making our way to the light. And it's not an easy journey, but it really brought me, I think, satisfaction to wake up each day in that difficult situation and know that I was a little bit better. And I remember I went from feeling like I would never escape that to the weeks passed and the days passed, and I looked back and I was like, oh my God. Like, I was so grateful and I was so thankful that I felt better last week, but this week I'm so much better. Like, imagine how it's gonna be next week, and then next week, and the next week. I just kept looking back, and I was like, wow, I thought I was getting better, but look how better I am now. And it brought me so much joy because I was faced with the reality that I would be ever evolving, and the sky was the limit to everything that I could achieve if I just sat down and set my heart and my mind and my soul into that and made it happen, because everything is everything is possible, and anything that we desire can happen. We just have to have the will, the strength, and the discipline to make it happen. And this became a little bit more deep than I imagined. I just watched a podcast with a Call Her Daddy episode with a comedian that is amazing. And she literally says that she hates how people say, like, and. And I just realized that I did that a little bit, so it put me off track. But right back to it. I wanted to talk today about the importance of movement and exercise, and it got into a little bit more like the mental, but I think our physical directly correlates with the mental. I'm studying to become a naturopath, and I've done many courses on different types of alternative healings and ways to understand our body and our minds and how to heal ourselves in a more natural and aligned way. And there's studies that show, I don't know if there's studies, I can be in this area of like in this area of studies, a lot of it is more like energetic and spiritual, and a lot of people want studies, but there's some things that are just, I don't know if there's studies that say this, I don't know why I said that, but Maybe I'll cut this out. But maybe I won't. It's fine. I think it's directly correlated. I've experienced this in my personal life, and I've had other people that tell me that they've also experienced this, that our emotions and how we feel and how we basically express ourselves are directly correlated with how we feel and how our body becomes sick. I feel like our soul becomes sick, and then our mind, and then our body. And I'll give an example. I used to have that inflammation in my amygdala every single week. Like, not every single week, but many times a year. I think one year I had it every single month, and it was really just awful. I couldn't like eat. I was just like coughing. I couldn't swallow. I woke up like in the middle of the night, not being able to breathe properly. And it was like a recurring thing I had since I was little. And then one time I was at the Fountain Blue with my dad in Miami, just relaxing at the pool and eating some fruits. And my dad printed out like a PDF of a book that talked about the relationship between our mind, our soul, and our body, and gave it to me. And initially I was kind of annoyed at the fact that he wanted me to read a whole PDF while I was at the pool. It was like basically a whole book. But I guess that's just teenager things, right? Today I'm like, best moment ever. I'm so feeling blessed and grateful that he handed me that PDF and I read that book, because from the moment that I understood the emotional cause of that inflammation in my amygdala, I've never had it again. I was able to, every time I felt the emotion and the energy building in my amygdala to become inflamed, I was able to overcome it and heal that energy before it affected my physical body. Basically, for the amygdala, it was like, you know, when you're feeling like you want to scream at someone, but you can't say it, and you feel really frustrated and you want to just say some really like harsh things or express yourself, and you don't feel like the person's gonna listen, and you just feel like there's like a ball tightening in your throat. I don't know if this is a niche thing. Maybe it's because my throat chakra is like the one that is most affected and less flowy in my energy system. But I know that I felt it really strongly after I realized what it was, and I felt the energy building, and I just felt like the whole energy like being disturbed in my throat. And since that day, I realized that when that happens and I feel like the energy building, all I do is breathe and relax and send that energy to be healed and to return to me and process it in a different way, because I don't want to get sick and my body doesn't want to get sick. And the more that I've come to understand my body, the more that I'm able to take care of it in a more authentic way. And I just think that's honestly just so amazing. Couldn't be more amazing. I'm so happy that I acquired this knowledge, and it honestly made my life 1,000 times better. And hand in hand with that, I feel like taking care of our emotions and our emotional and like mental health is everything. But taking care of our physical health is also everything. And sometimes it might be even easier than taking care of our mental health. I don't know. Depends, I think, on the person and their characteristics and how they interact with the world. But lately I've been doing 75 hard. I had a little bit of a week intermission because my knee got a little bit sore, and I went to a few birthday parties and on a few outings, and I was just a little bit more tired, not in the flow, and I really regret not continuing in the flow, because that 75 hard, like 2 weeks that I was doing were amazing. The week that I didn't do it wasn't so amazing, and now I'm determined to get back into it. I ran yesterday and I worked out the day before. I'm getting back on my water and my book and everything, and I'm just honestly thriving. I would 10 out of 10 recommend for anybody that is wanting to do something nice with their body right now to do 75 hard. You don't have to do it as intensely as it says in the thing. I feel like because it's 45 minutes of working out outside and 45 minutes of working out indoors, you can do something chiller like a yoga, and then something a little bit more like a walk if you're not really there yet to do like intense workouts. I'm not there yet personally, so I'm doing more like subtle things, but I'm making sure I move my body and take care of myself, and my body's slowly transforming like the building blocks that I mentioned in the beginning of the video. And I just feel so blessed to be on this path of discipline. Not every day I feel motivated and wake up super ready to be working out and running, and the week that I took off, it was pretty hard to go back into running. And as soon as I finished, I couldn't be happier that I did it. Sometimes I feel like we just have to take care of ourselves in the future and do things that will nurture our future self, and that would make us feel proud looking back, even if it's not what we want at the moment, and just push through and have that discipline because we deserve it. We deserve to be happy, healthy, thriving, and overall the best version of ourselves. And that is something that we can construct for ourselves. So, yay, let's do it. Love you guys and see you very soon.